survive and advance, right? I mean, your thoughts on the tightness and the physicality of this game?
I mean, coming into it, we knew that we were going to be playing a good team with a really physical, tough defense, and they showed us that. And I think on both sides of the ball, we played really well and very physical, and I think that's just what it comes down to in the SEC, tough physical games, and we ended up coming out on top.
You mentioned that physicality. You got hit 3 times. How were you able to just keep composed? It seemed like you never panicked. It's kind of a theme, I guess, but I mean, getting hit that many times and seeing these guys coming at you.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, they brought a lot of pressure at us. They gave us a lot of different looks. Obviously, go back, watch film, see if I could have changed something to, maybe make some guy not miss or change the protection. But I mean, you get hit in football as part of it. Just stand back up next play.
Carson, with the running game struggling, did you feel you had to make a play?
No, never. I mean, towards the end of the game when we needed the most, the running game started to pick it up. We leaned on our offensive linemen like we always tend to do in the fourth quarter, get behind them, Dejon, Kendall, whichever back we throw in there. But, I mean, ultimately we got so many guys that are going to make plays that all I have to do is be myself.
Carson, did you know that Nas had those kind of hands?
No, I didn't, but he did get hawked down. He had like a big old backpack on his back or something slowing him down. So.
How big was that play? I mean, just for him to be able to make a play.
I mean, a huge play, especially at that point in the game. They're starting to drive down, 2-minute situation, trying to go down there and score to, I think we were up 9, so make it like a 1-point game. If they probably would have gone for 2 or 1. But to make that play on defense, a huge momentum shifter.
Seems like every time you guys needed a big play offensively through the air, you went to Ladd, and just the way he came through the clutch, you feel he's taking that next step?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's came up clutch this week, last week as well. Big time on third downs and obviously explosive plays. Obviously the coverage that they gives us dictates who gets the ball, and it's intended to be him.
Carson, what do you feel like was working in that third quarter? 2 touchdown drives for you guys. Wound up being a big deal in winning the game, but what was working in that third quarter on offense?
I think this whole entire season we've been so good at coming out in the second half, especially the third quarter, and making adjustments based off what the defense is doing against us. That and obviously going out there and executing, getting that energy back, getting a little rest during halftime, then coming out strong and being physical.
Walk me through the hospital touchdown.
I think it was third. Was it third down? Yeah. Third down. We just had like a little in route there and like a little shallow coming under. Safety played over the top of him. Tried to just nail it on his back hip. I mean, that was a huge catch. That was a huge catch in a huge game.
McConkey's been your leading receiver the past 2 weeks. What is it like to just have a guy like him with Brock out and a guy that knows the ins and outs of the offense?
Yeah, I mean, he stepped up huge, and I've said this so many times, but the amount of reps that we've had over the past 4 years, we came in together, whether that's in the offseason, during the season. Obviously, there's a lot of trust there and a lot of built reps, so I know exactly what he's going to do and exactly where he's going to be.
Obviously, a big stretch here for you guys. This one, how does this one feel knowing you're at home, be able to get a big win against the top-ranked team that has a lot of?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming into it, we knew that it was going to be a tough matchup. We knew that they were going to give us their best, and we were going to give them our best as well. So to be able to get that win, especially as an SEC East opponent, it's a big win for us.
Carson, I doubt we'll talk to you during the week. So with this final home game coming up, do you think what it could be for you, maybe your final game ever between the hedges?
I mean, I'm not really thinking that too far ahead. Obviously, enjoy tonight's win. I try to keep it day to day, but I am super excited to have a good opponent like Ole Miss. I'm pretty sure they won tonight too, or today earlier. So to have them come into our house, I'm super excited.
Carson, you're out there as the holder for Peyton after he hits that career long to put y'all up 2 scores. What did you say to him?
I mean, obviously, I was hyped. If you go look at the film, I mean, I was super energetic. I called him the Iceman. I mean, every time that he's stepped out there in the past couple games, he's nailed those field goals, and obviously they ended up coming huge tonight.
Carson, you talked before the year about how much you've learned watching Stetson for a couple of years.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, you talked before the season about how much you learned watching Stetson for a couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
When you got on the field this year, what did you finally learn about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think as each game continues to go, I continue to learn more about myself and the game. Like, obviously, I'm kind of relearning how to play football again. I haven't played in so long. I mean, you laugh, but it's very true. But all the things that I've taken from him, he was a different quarterback. He could run a little bit better, make some plays with the feet. But I learned so much stuff from him off the field as far as, like, mental things and, film stuff and, like, how to read things and, being able to mesh some of the stuff that he does really well and trying to implement it into my game obviously just levels me up.
Anything in particular, like, stand out?
I guess the big thing is just next drive. The one thing that he always used to say to me, or well, not always, but one thing that stuck out is that you're always going to be able to find a completion. Like, you don't have to worry. Like, the next play is the next play, just continue to go.
That next drive thing was really important this game, and you guys had a couple 3-and-outs, which we hadn't seen for a while. And you guys came out in the second half and moved the ball right away. Is that whole mindset sort of helped you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the next play mentality always, next drive mentality, however you want to put it. But we went into halftime. We knew that we were going to be good, and we came out and we ended up executing.
And when you said you kind of had almost learned how to play football again on the field, anything in particular that's like tangible that a layman may?
Well, the biggest thing is I don't get hit in practice. So, I mean, the past 4 years, I don't ever get hit. So, like, avoiding the rush and knowing when to get the ball out, when to try to run. I mean, there's so many different things that come with playing the position of quarterback that it's kind of like a feel thing. So, as we're, 9 games into the season now, you know, it's starting to develop more and more.
You've made some big throws in some of the bigger games this year so far. I would think you take a lot of gratification out of that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's, huge for us. I mean, it's an offensive thing, though. I mean, offensive line gives me the protection, the time. The wide receivers go and make the plays. I just put it where it's supposed to be.
Hey, Carson, what about Coach Gummy? You know, obviously he's been here for a while. Just what about his development of quarterbacks? Do you like about him, and just what kind of coach is he?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me with him, I mean, he's been here forever, so I've had a relationship with him since I first got here. But he's super selfless. You know, he does so much. I mean, so much behind the scenes. And then obviously on the field, coaching us different technique, how to read plays. And then obviously out on the field during games, just walking with me step by step, you know, each play as the plays come in, telling me what he's seeing on the field, something that I could do better. But obviously blessed to have him on my side.
Carson, I often think that teams take on the identity of their quarterback, and your identity seems to be having composure. You guys have played behind in almost every SEC win you guys have had this season. Why have you guys been able to do that, I guess?
I mean, I think you said it for me. We are a very composed team, and we are resilient, and I think we've shown that at this point in the season. And we stand on that. You know, those are some of our four, what they call our four pillars. So we got resiliency, toughness, connection. You know, you've heard them all. But those are things that we stand on, and you know, when you practice those type of things, they end up showing up in games.
You took 3 sacks today, I believe. Was that on you, the offensive line, a little bit of both? Did you feel that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll have to go back and watch the film. I mean, could have been me. I could have had to change a protection or maybe try to get the ball out a little quicker. Some of those were trying to throw, you know, shots down the field, so it's got to hold on to it a little bit longer. But I don't know. We'll go back and watch it on film and see how we can improve it.
Your reaction to Nazir Stackhouse, I'm sure you've been asked already, but I want you to give it to me. What was it?
I mean, obviously super excited. I was sitting there. I was like, man, somebody's got to make a play. Like, obviously full faith in our defense to get a stop there. But then to get the pick in that, you know, time period they're driving down the field. I mean, and obviously him running down the sidelines is a funny sight to see, but super excited.
My last question for you, Ladd McConkey, over 1,500 career receiving yards today. That's the milestone that he hit. What does he mean to you, to this team? He stepped up so much in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had a huge week last week. I'm not sure of his numbers this week, but I'm pretty sure he had a huge week this week as well. I mean, he's reliable. That's the biggest thing. He makes plays whenever his number's called, and we're going to keep throwing him the ball.
Carson, I had a chance to talk to your mom and sister last week, and they told me that you are a wizard at solving the Rubiks Cube. Would you say there are any parallels between the way you solve a Rubiks Cube and the way you play quarterback?
I mean, no, but I could make one. I mean, it's a strategic thing. I mean, I can do a Rubiks Cube in under a minute. So, yes, that is a fun fact for me. But, yeah, I mean, I guess just the strategy of it and just getting it done.
Carson, there's going to be a lot of hype next week about you against the Ole Miss quarterback. You know, is that going to be fun to have a game like that? I know you want to stay within the offense, but also be able to show your skills? I
mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's not really the first thing on the top of my head, but obviously he's a great quarterback as well. And, I've watched their games, seen him play, so it'll definitely be a fun, exciting challenge.
You guys as an offense didn't put up as many total yards as you have been, but obviously you got the W. How do you think, obviously first half things were a lot tougher. What adjustments did you guys make? I mean,
yeah, obviously first and foremost, we're here to win. We leave with the win, I'm happy. The rest does not matter. However many plays we play, as long as we got one more point than the opposing team, we're good. And then obviously I think the whole entire year, we've been able to come out at halftime and make adjustments based off of what a defense is doing, what a defensive look is giving us, and we were able to go out and execute in that second half.
How salty was that Missouri defense, if you know the term salty? Just tough.
Yeah, they made plays. They tried to create havoc, and I said it throughout the week in an interview, and I said that they were going to be tough, they were going to be dirty, they were going to be physical, and they were that, and it was a very, very tough game. That's what we come to the SEC for. We expect that every single week. So.
I was watching you on the sideline during the last Missouri drive, and it looked like you were, sweating it might be one way to put it. What were you thinking at that moment when the defense was out there? This was after Nazir.
Oh, yeah. Just sitting out there, obviously watching the defense have full confidence and faith that they're going to go out there and get a stop. But at that point, it's out of my control. So I'm just.
What's that feel like?
I don't personally like the feeling. I'd rather be in control. I play quarterback. I want the ball in my hands every time and the opportunity to make a play. But to sit there and watch the defense, obviously have full confidence and trust in them to make a play.
How about Peyton? Just a
big time.
Game. Yeah.
Huge time, big time for him. What do you have, 3 field? Do you have 3 in
the
this?
last one was really long.
Yeah, the last one, that pretty much, quote unquote, iced it. But big time players make big time plays, and obviously he's been that for us this year.
How can y'all get better before next week?
Go watch the film. Obviously see what we might have messed up this week. Obviously it's going to be a totally different defense that we're playing. So just see how we can attack them in whatever way that might be.